and I'll start our timer. In the previous lesson of web programming for beginners, we stopped at styles. So today we're going to look to start from HTML formatting, and then we'll proceed from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open my text editor. At this point, when I say text editor, I believe everyone is understanding what I talk about. So I'm going to open my text editor, which is VS Code. So I can simply come to VS Code here, and then I'm going to, let me create its new instance. There we go. So I'm going to open our folder for HTML. So I'll simply come to File and then say Open Folder, and then I'll go to my desktop and I'll go to HTML. Here it is. Okay. So last time we stopped at what? At styles. For example, if you come here to our files, you'll find that the last thing that we last practiced was what? Was styles. So let's go ahead and practice the next thing, which is HTML formatting. So HTML formatting, it helps us to format text in different ways. For example, if you want to bold something, you want to put something in italics, you want to understand to underline something, all that, you want to emphasize something, we use HTML formatting, and I'll share the notes that are explaining this concept of HTML formatting. In fact, I have the slides. Let me open my slides. These slides are in the downloads, HTML. They're here. So we are looking at HTML formatting. I already know these things in the head, so I don't need again to demonstrate with the slides, but I'll share with you the slides so you can go ahead and do what? And read deeply through the slides. So I don't need to again demonstrate using the slides because I already know them in the head. So let us go ahead and see what is meant by HTML formatting. So here we have our folder open, this VS Code. I'm going to open another file, which is going to be new, number 8, and I'm going to put underscore HTML underscore formatting dot HTML. So after doing that, I'll write our structure of HTML, which is HTML HTML5, and then I'm going to put here HTML formatting. HTML formatting, that's going to be our title. So we begin with bolding. So if you want to write a word and make it bolded, what you do, for example, I'm going to write here a simple paragraph and say today was my best day in a month. So if I do like this and I just run this one, what I'm going to expect is it's going to be a paragraph. Okay, so let us execute it. To execute it, of course, we'll have to open our browser, and here's our browser. I don't need slides, I already have these things in my head, right? But I'll share with you the slides so you can do what? You can follow along from slides. So let us go ahead and do what? And open the file by pressing Ctrl and O. Okay, and then come to desktop, and then come to HTML5. HTML, which is here. So I'm going to go ahead and open. It was supposed to be 8, right? Did I save anyway? Number 8, HTML formatting. Save. Come to desktop, you can see it here. Number 8, HTML formatting. So I'll open it. So you can see, today was my best day. So what if I want to bold these ones? If I want this one to keep them bolded, for example, best day, I want to bold it, so I have to format it. So to format, to bold something in HTML using formats, you just simply do what? You just simply surround that text that you want to bold with a B tag. So I'll put here my B tag and I put that text. That is a B tag, right? You just write B and press the tab key. It will be opened and closed for you. See, I just write B like this and then I press the tab key. I just write B and then the tab key. Then it will be opened and closed for me. So if I come and refresh now, you can see the word best day has been bolded. So that's how we bold stuff in HTML. In HTML formatting. There is other way. If in case you want to underline a word, for example, you can say P and you say I love you so much, darling. So if you want to underline the word love you, you just simply surround it with with the U tag, right? So U and then put the love and then come and refresh. You can see I love has been the word love has been has been underlined. So that's how we format text in HTML. If you want to do to put something in italics, you just simply put like this. I will never forget you. So if you want to underline to put the word never forget in italics, these two words, you just put the I tag and then surround it with the word that you want them to be in italics. Come and refresh. You can see never forget has been underlined. There are other more, like writing something small. To write something small, you can just simply say that is a small thing. So I can refresh. If I want to keep this word to be small, really small, than other letters that are with it, you just simply surround this small word with a tag called small. You see, tag called small. Just open that small, the tag called small, and close it. Then between it you put a word that you want to be reduced the size. If you come and refresh, you can see it has this word small is really smaller compared to other words that are in the same paragraph. There is other way. What if you want to mark something? If you want to mark something, you can simply do like this. This is very important thing. So if I want to mark the word important, if I want to mark this word important, you just simply surround it with a tag called mark. Okay, mark, like this. Is it? Yeah, it's a new tag. So I have to open bracket and for it, and then close it. So if I come and refresh, you can see the word important has been marked with with yellow, has been highlighted. And what was able to do that, what enabled it to do that, it was the mark tag. There are some more tags like delete. We can call it as well insert. If you want to delete something, to show something that it is crossed, you can simply say that was a big mistake. So if I want to refresh, if I want to cross the word mistake, what will I do? I just simply surround it with a tag called del. It's like deleted, right? So if I come and refresh, you can see the word mistake has been crossed. So that's how we format HTML entities or HTML content using HTML formatting. So when I'll share the slides with you, come and play with them. Come and play with these examples so that you can be able to understand them properly. Let me close my video. We proceed with HTML quotation. So we use quotations to write quotations, just like the way it sounds. We use quotations to write quotations. So in HTML, it supports quotation when you write in your document. For example, if you want to reference someone or if you want to reference another external source, you can use what you call HTML quotation. So let us go ahead and do that file of HTML quotation, which is going to be number 9. File, right click, new file, 9 underscore HTML quotation elements dot HTML. So there it is. So I'm going to open it here by simply pressing Ctrl and O, and then I'll go ahead and open the file, and it is having nothing because I've not put there anything. So if you want to write a quote in HTML, there are different tags that we use, and here they are. So let me go ahead and show them to you. So I'm going to simply write HTML5, and then I'm going to put here quotation. Save, and then I'm going to put here a comment. So to comment in HTML, just simply write less than sign, and then exclamation mark, and then 2 lines, and then anything that you write be here, it will not be displayed in the in the browser, it will be ignored. So these are the quotations that HTML supports. You have a block quote, you have a Q, and then you have abbreviation, you have address and site, and and video. So if you want to write a quote, for example, you want to say maybe Mandela did say this. Let me get here one quote of Nelson Mandela, and then we see how we can implement these quotations in real world. So to do that, first of all, you can simply write it like this. You can just simply write it like this. Just say let's open the bracket, just okay, and simply write say block quote as it is there, block quote, and then press enter. So between there you write the quote itself. So as you can see, that's my quote. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So if I come and refresh, you will find that this quote has been indented, has been extended just a little bit step in front of in front of the normal indentation, the normal margin of the of the browser. So if I want to put someone who said it, I can simply write by Nelson Mandela here. So I can simply write here paragraph below it and send P by Nelson Mandela. So come and refresh. You can see a quote is a little bit different from a normal paragraph. And when you write quotations properly, then it means that the search engine such as Google will understand properly your websites. So when you copy something from another website, you have to put in quotation, and that's how you create a block quote. So block quote is a group of of text. And another thing, if I press enter like this and save, you'll see it should be presented that way. So what if another way of how you can write a short quote? Let us say that you want to write just a quote. I mean, another thing that I want to show you is you may need to also tell the source why you got this quotation. Okay, for example, I've got this quotation from another website, and I want to tell that this quotation was copied from from the source. I want to credit the source. So to credit the source, you have to add an attribute called cite. So those who studied citation and quotation, you'll understand what I mean. So you just simply write cite like this, and then you write where you copied this quote. Okay, you give the link. So this is the link where I copied this quote. Okay, so you have to put the link there, so that when someone comes and check your website and realize it is a quote, you can still know where this link was, where this quote was where it was originated from, and the browser can know still where it was originated from. So if you want to write a short quote or a simple quote, you just simply write like this. You just write a Q. So you can see WWF's goal is what? Is to, and then you write the quotation, is to build the future where people live in harmony with the nature. So you can see what the vision or the the goal of WWF, we are quoting it because it is not our word. This is their word. So you have to write it in what? In a quote. So since this is just a simple short quote inside a paragraph, you can as well surround it with what? With just Q. So when surround it with a Q, the browser or search engines will understand that that was what? That was a quote. So if you come and refresh, you can see it has automatically been quoted. Can you see? I did not put these quotes by myself, but you can see when I surround it with Q, these words that are surrounded with Q, they are automatically quoted by the browser. So that's how we write quotes in what? In web programming. So you can go as well and write addresses. There are also other ways how you can write addresses because it's also kind of quotation. So to write an address, we just simply say address, and then you surround it with what? With the text that you want to be in form of what? In form of address. So if you come and refresh here, you can see when you surround address with some text, automatically those addresses will be put in what? In italics. And you can see this address has been put in what? In italics. Why? Because you surrounded it with what? With address. And that is how we do what? We write quotations in web programming. So we can proceed to what? To comments. So a comment is something that you don't want to appear in your browser. You've been hearing me talking about comment. It's something that you may not want to appear in your browser, but you want it to appear in your code. For example, you're creating a project and you're collaborating with many people. Maybe you're writing a software, a website or a web application with 6 people, and you guys have to work, all of you, on one just project, all of you together. So you may need to explain something that your colleague should understand, but you don't want explanation to appear in your what? In your browser. So to do that, if you want to write something but you don't want it to appear, is what we call what? Is what we call comments. So let's go ahead and see how you can create comments in HTML. So I'm going to create here another file. I'm going to call it file number 10 underscore comments. HTML comments, I can call it whatever, HTML comment.html. So let's go ahead and create and see what is meant by comments. So I'm going to create here my HTML structure, and then I'm going to call this one HTML comments. You put your name in the chat. Just put the name in the chat to mark you as attended. So let's go ahead and see how we can write comments. So to write a comment, we just simply say this is, maybe for example, I can say here is a P, and then I say this is my, okay, let's say like this is my password. So if I come and refresh here, let us open the file of comments. So it is this one here. If you refresh, you can see this is my password is visible. So if I want to explain something here, and I want maybe another developer to understand what I was talking about, but I don't want my explanation to do what? To be shown to be displayed in the browser. So I can simply write that as a comment. So to write a comment, you just simply write less than sign, and then the exclamation mark and the 2 dashes. Okay, the 2 dash, like that. Hyphen, 2 hyphens. They call them hyphens, right? So like that, you just simply write like that, and then you write to close it, just write 2 hyphens, and then also the greater than sign. So everything that you write here, it will not be displayed in the browser. It will be in the source code, but will not be displayed in the browser. So let's go ahead and refresh. So you can see that is not displayed in the browser. But if you go in the source code, if you want, click here, right click, and then come to view source, you'll see it is there. That's how you see the source code of what? Of a certain HTML file. So the comment is there, but it's not being displayed. So this one can help you to explain things. For example, you can say below, maybe say here, you entered a wrong password. So you want to explain to the browser, I mean to your fellow developer. You can say below I tell the user how they entered wrong password. So you can tell like that. So here you're telling anyone, whoever who will be reading this source code, you're explaining to them that here I'm doing like this. But this will not be displayed in what? In users. It will not be displayed to users. Can you see? You entered the password, but because of this comment, because it is a comment, it will not be displayed to what? To the user side. So whatever I write inside the comment, it will not be displayed to your user side, but it can help you to document your web application. So we can proceed to what? To HTML colors. So in HTML, we have different colors that we deal with. The first colors, they are the ones that we name. For example, we have orange, tomato, gray, red, but you know those colors are limited. For example, if I want to write, let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and write something here. New file, and then I'm going to say number 11. I'll share the source. I'll share the what, the notes that are explaining these things. HTML underscore colors dot HTML. So here I'm going to write my structure of HTML, and then I'm going to call this one HTML colors. So in HTML we don't put the word you. Others write, normal people write here you. I don't know, like that, colors. But here we just write colors with O only, not you. So that's how it is here. So let's go ahead and simply create our first paragraph like P, and then simply say this is red, and this is blue, this is green. So if I save, I come and refresh. Let us go ahead and open. So I press Ctrl O, and then come this file number 12. You can see this is red, this is blue, this is green, but they are not really colored. So if you want to color them, you can use HTML colors to color them. So let us go ahead and color this first one. So to color it, we'll have to pass the style attribute, style, and then you say color, and then you specify the color, which is going to be red, and then come and copy this, come and paste it here. This is going to be blue, and then come and paste it also here, and this is going to be what? This is going to be color. This is going to be what? To be green. So if I come and refresh, you can see this one has changed to red. This is green. This is red. This is blue. This is what? This is green. So we do that by HTML colors. So listen carefully. HTML supports all colors in English. All colors that are in English with correct names, they'll support. They are all supported. For example, if I say here a color called tomato, this is also another color. It's like red, but it's not red. So as long as it is a color that is supposed, it is in English, that HTML will do. HTML will support it. But you know, colors are limited. We cannot name all the colors. There are so many possible combinations. Come and write here. Possible combinations of all colors. I hope I don't know whether I wrote it properly. All colors. Let me just search number of all colors in the world. There are millions. There are over 10 millions. Can you see? 1,000 times 100 times 1,000. So there are over 16 millions colors in the world. But can you tell, does all those colors have names? Of course, no. If you mix colors with different variations, those colors will have many. They can be 60 million, more than 16 millions. You see? So do you have Can you manage to mention 16 million colors? No. So what if you want to use a specific color in your HTML project? So when you want to use a specific color, then that's when we come to what? what we call RGB color. The one that we just looked at, we call them named colors. So you're going to look at another type of color. We call them RGB colors. So I'm going to save this one. Members should listen to this carefully because it's important. So I'm going to save this one. I'm going to create another file, so I can resave this one. Let me save it. Ctrl Shift S. In fact, this was supposed to be rename. Supposed to be 11. So I'm going to create another another file. I'm going to call it 12 HTML colors underscore RGB .html So HTML like this. So we have seen that there are possible 16 millions of different colors in the world. So can you manage to name all those colors? Of course no, there are so many. Even the names will be limited. So we come now to what we call RGB colors. So RGB colors, just simply right here, RGB colors. All colors in the world, they can possibly be created by combining a fraction of one of these colors. Red can be, it stands for what? R stands for red, and then G stands for what? For green, and then B stands for blue. So if you mix these colors with different fraction, you can come up with all the colors in the world. So HTML allows you to mix these colors and then come up with your own colors, and it allows you to do that by using R, G, and B. So you have to put here a value of R and the value of G and the value of B. So the value of R is the value of red, the value of G the value of green, and then the value of what? The value of B is the value of blue. So the maximum value is going to be 256 Uganda. So you see, so the maximum value that you can put for every color is what? Is 256. So what does it mean? You can have 256 times what? Times different combination that you can come up with. So it's going to be times what? Times 256 times, because there are 3 times 256, which is going to be 16 millions 0.8. Okay, 16 millions 0.8. So we have over 16 millions possible combination of what? Of colors. So let us go ahead and see how we can do that. To do that, I'm just going to write here my paragraph, and I'm going to put here some lorem. Okay, some lorem. Okay, so that's our paragraph, and then you're going to change the background color of this one using this RGB. So let's go ahead and save, and then go and open this file, Ctrl O, and then come to number 12, RGB colors. So R stands for red, B stands for what? For G stands for green, and then B stands for blue. And then the maximum value can be 256 for each value. So how do we do that? So I want to give this color, this space, a background of what? Of a certain color. So to do that, I'll just simply come and say style, and then give it maybe background color. You see, background color. That's how you say the background color. And then you can say background color is going to be. So to write an RGB color, what you do, you just simply write the word here. So when you're specifying a color, instead of just saying red like this, okay, this will also work. But instead of saying red, we want to also go beyond the named colors. You just simply write RGB like that, RGB, and then you put the brackets. Then after putting the brackets, then you have 3 fields that you have to specify. The first one is red, followed by what? By green, followed by what? By blue. So let us put everywhere 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we did not put any color. And you know, when there is no any color, it means that the color is going to be black. Okay, let us make our text white. Color white. Let's keep our text white. So can you see the color is black, but this is wheat, not white. Okay, why is it black? The background color, why is it black? Is because we said that the background color is having RGB, and then the value of red we put 0, and the value of green we put 0, and the value of blue is put 0. Now let us see how we can play with this. Now what if we want this background to be red using RGB? So it means that you must put this position of red, you must put its maximum, then the background will be what? Will be red. So we're going to put here 256. That's the maximum, 256. And then we leave green 0 and blue 0. So if we leave green 0 and blue 0, the thing is going to be red. So if we make here the first field to be 0, and then we make the second field to be 256, and then we leave this one, the background is going to be green. Why? Because we made the green maximum. So if you also leave this one and come to put the background is going to be what? To be blue. So as you know, now colors can be got by mixing different values of what? Of colors. Then you can come up with what? By mixing different values of red, blue, and green, you can come up with all the possible colors in the world. So I can come here now, for example, here what I'm going to do, I'm mixing red with what? With blue, and I leave green. So if I mix red and blue, what will I come up with? So if I come and refresh here, is that pink? I don't know. So if you mix red and blue, that's the color you'll come up with. So if I mix, let me keep here 0. If I mix blue and green, what will I come up with? So you see, that's the color I'll come up with. Now if you now start playing with these values, maybe you put there 25, you put here maybe 116, and you put there maybe 24. So what will you come up with? Can you see? You come up with this color. So VS Code can help you to pick colors. So if I click here, I have ability to pick colors, and they will generate for me an RGB. So if I ask you that what is the name of this color, this particular color, do you know its name? It looks like maroon, but it's not really maroon. So can you see? So they have created for us some hex code. We'll also come to hex code, but they have created for us some RGB color. So can you see? You're having 34 here as blue, and you're having 92, and then you're having 14. So if I come and save and refresh, can you see? That is the color that you cannot name. It is like maroon, it's not maroons. So when you play with these values, you can come up with what? With a different color, with different colors. Okay, so come and refresh, you see, you have that color. And then, so you can just simply change the red and blue, the red and green and blue, and then you come up with this color. So these colors are the one that we call RGB colors. So we proceed. So we have what we call also RGBA colors. So the RGBA colors, the last value that we've added A colors is the opacity, like how transparent this color should be. For example, you may need to make this color transparent. So if you want to make it transparent, you have to add one more value, and that value should range from 0 and 1. So it should be 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, like that, from 0 up to 1. So if I make it 0.0 and save it, so this color is going to be 100% transparent. You see, it is there, but it is transparent. So if I increase it maybe 0.2, so it's going to be made by 0.2 transparent. So if there's an image in background of this text, we'll be able to see that image, but with the what? With the level of that transparency. So you can see that. So the maximum transparent, this is what? It is 1. So if you put 1, it's going to be 100%. If you put 1, it's going to be 100% oblique. So that's one that you call RGBA. So you can play with this dot and change it maybe to that. So you see, the color is becoming transparent. So if there's something behind this image, you could be able to see it. So you can either use RGBA, but if you want the transparency, you just play with this one. You can use this VS Code even to choose this transparency. Can you see? My transparency here is being varied. See? So if you have something, I'm developing a software, and I want this front text to be transparent and someone should be something behind. So I can do like this to change the transparency. Can you see? I can change the transparency. So this one is red, this one is blue, this one is green. So this one is red, this one is green, this one is blue. And then this remaining 0. less than 1 is what is the transparent. That's why we call RGBA. RGBA. But if you use RGB, it will then take 3 values. So that's all about colors. And then the last one, we have what we call hexadecimal colors. Hexadecimal colors also, we use them to color different values of HTML. So for it will be a 6 digits value where I can each of two 6 digits, they will represent a certain color that is in RGB. So if you want to create an hexadecimal color, you can just simply as well use this VS Code and click here. You see it has been changed to what? To an hexadecimal value. So this is what we call hexadecimal value. So it will also do the same thing, but written in what? In hexadecimal code. So we proceed. That's all about RGB and RGBA and hexadecimal colors. So we proceed to CSS. So what is CSS? We also call it styles. So we use CSS to format HTML styles, to change how the HTML should appear. So if you want to change how things should appear in your project, we use what we call CSS, or cascading style sheets. So that's where we are, and let's see what CSS can do. So we have 3 types of CSS. Let me first expand here and open new file, and I'm going to call it 13 underscore HTML underscore CSS dot HTML. So that is another file. So now here, as we've said, that we use styles to format the appearance of our HTML code. So HTML, for it will just write the code. It will just help us to present the content. But what if you want your content to be presented in a specific way, or in a well-designed way, or in a different designed way? Then you have to write what we call CSS. CSS is also another language, but with HTML, since it works with HTML, still you can also write what we call CSS. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. I will share the notes and understand what it means. And then you have 3 types of CSS. The first one is Inline CSS. The other one is called Internal CSS, and another one is called External CSS. So you should be here very attentive and try to understand every part of this, of what I'm going to explain. So inline CSS is where we write the CSS within the same line of HTML. For example, the one that you have been doing is what we call inline CSS. Then internal CSS is the one where we write the CSS in the head of what? Of a file, of an HTML file. Then external CSS is the one that we write outside the what? Outside the HTML file. So let's see what are these CSS and how we can use them to format our projects. To design our application, or web application. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create here an HTML file 5, and I'm going to call this one HTML CSS. CSS stands for Styles Cascading Sheets. So let's go ahead and create here our first maybe heading H1, and I'm going to call it maybe Hardy Music. So this is going to be maybe kind of music website, and after here I'm going to put here an ordered list, li. So I'm going to put here maybe some H2. You know what's meant by H2? Top 10 songs. So I can come here and put like the first list. I can put maybe Hello by Adele. Is it Adele, whatever. So it is ordered list OL, and then I can come and put here Lonely by Icon. I can come and put here Africa Beauty by Diamond Platinums. Then lastly, maybe I can come and put here Gangnam Style by Psy. Okay, so that's our simple website with top 10 songs, and then other songs can follow. So let's go ahead and run this file and we see how it looks like. So I come and refresh, I come and open the file, Ctrl O, and then come and open this file, CSS. So that's our simple CSS. So let's go ahead and write here maybe our paragraph that will come our users. Welcome to Hardy Music.com. Then you can write blah 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 blah. So come and refresh, we have our website like that one. But our website does not look cool, eh? So what if you want to organize it, like all the paragraphs, all the headings should have a background color of maybe pink, and all the text should have the color of blue. Let us assume that that's how we want our things to look like. So what shall we do? We just simply come here and put a style. So that's, we're going to write some CSS. So CSS is the code that will help us to style what our HTML content. So we have content, but it's not styled. So let's go ahead and write here some CSS. So just simply write here style tag, and then give background color of maybe blue, and then the color of text of should be white. Okay, so let us give also this heading the same color, this H2 here. So if you come and refresh, everything is beautiful. Okay, Hardy Music, then you have top 10 songs, and then our headings are having this color. Let us go ahead and change our paragraph. Maybe should have a specific color, style, and then give it color of what, of maybe red. Just demonstrating, it's not that I'm trying to show you. So if I come and refresh, the normal text have the colors of red, and then the headings, they have background color of blue, and then they have these ones have colors of, the normal text have colors of red. So that is how we can style our code, and we can come up with a really beautiful website. And what makes us able to style the code is another language called CSS, or cascading style sheets. So after doing that, this way of writing CSS, you can see I'm writing this CSS here within the same line, and that CSS will only happen on this element. If I write this CSS here, it will only happen on this element that is enclosed. So that way of writing things, or that way of writing CSS, we call it inline CSS. Let me rename even this file so that when I share with you this code, you should be able to do what, to understand. So I'm going to put here rename HTML CSS underscore inline, because we're writing it inline. So, but we remember we said we have 3 types. The first one is inline, the second one is internal, another one is what, is external CSS. So that is how we write one. But this one will having it has a problem that you have not realized. What is the problem? We are repeating ourselves. Can you see? I am repeating myself. The same thing that I have written here, I've just repeated it here, because I want all my headings to be blue and black text. To be blue and white text, and this heading to be blue and white text. But I end up repeating myself. So we ask ourselves, is there no any way where you can write just once and we just apply that in all headings? So that there's a way, and to do that we use what we call internal CSS. So internal CSS, you will just write your rules, because here you have a problem. What if we have 1000 lines, 1000 headings in the same page? So it means that you'll have to write that CSS 1000 times. Now what if our boss wakes up one day and say, no, I don't want this color, I want another color? So what does it mean? We'll have to change 1000 files, or 1000 times in our project, which is really hectic. So there is a way how we can write CSS only one time and then reuse it across the entire application. So if you want to change, you just change only one time and then the whole system will be updated. So what is that way? That way is called the internal CSS. So let us see how we write internal CSS. So I've created here another file. I'm going to create here another file. Let me just save this one as another file. Ctrl Shift. If you want to save as new file, this one, so I'm going to save it as new file. Just press Ctrl, you hold it, you press Shift, you hold it, and S. When you do like that, it will ask you to save the same code but with another name. So I'm going to save this one as number 14, and I'm going to call this one internal CSS. Internal. There we go. So I'm going to put here HTML CSS, internal CSS. So as you've heard, it is just within the file. So what shall we do? We're going to define these rules only one time and then apply them on where we want. So to write internal CSS, you just simply write the word style in the head. You come in the head and write the word style. Okay? Style, like this. Then after writing the word style, you write the tag called style. It's a tag, like this, style. Okay? Then after writing the tag style, you open and close it. Okay? You can as well just simply write the word style and then press enter. It will open for you and close it. Okay? So once you have style, it means that between there, you're going to define the rules that are going to work across this project. Now, for example, I want all my H1 tags and H2 tags to have these conditions. Let me first remove these conditions and we write them afresh, okay? So you can understand properly. So let me remove all the styles that we had put. Remove that. Remove that. Remove that. Save. Come and refresh. Let us open internal CSS number 14. You see, there is nothing there. Just our list of of songs. So if I refresh, I see everything, but nothing is colored. So how can we use internal CSS? We use inline. You have seen how it is done. Now, how can we use internal CSS to define the rules of CSS? To do that, you simply come to this tag of style that we've just created in the head, okay? And then you define. First of all, you specify why you want these rules to happen. You specify, for example, I want this rule to happen in our H1 and H2 tags. So what shall we do? We'll have to say H1 and then we open the curly bracket like this. Then after writing H1 and open the curly bracket like this, then there we can write the rules. And those rules, once we write the rules here, they're going to happen to all H1s. That will do what? That will create. So we say that we want our background of all the H1. So just simply write background color like that. We want it to be what? To be blue. And then we go ahead and then say the text color. So the text color, just simply write that color. We want them to be what? To be white. So if I come and refresh, if I save, come and refresh, what is going to happen? You see, our H1 is blue and the text is white. So it means that even if I create here another H1, here like here, H1, another one, this is another heading. So if I come and refresh, so as long as it is H1, the rule is going to catch it. The rule skipped the paragraph, it skipped the H2, it skipped also the list, but it caught the H1, only the H1s. Why? Because we came here in styles and defined that all the H1s should have this rule. And this is what we call internal CSS. Save, come and refresh, beautiful. So if I want this same rule to work also on H2, what will I do? You just simply come here on top and put comma H2. So it means that this rule will work on all tags of H1 and H2. So anything that has h1 and h2, that rule will do what? Will work on it. So if I come and save and refresh, you can see even the h2 has been caught by rule. So this is the better systematic way. You write the rules separately, and then those rules you write also your HTML content separately. So when you update, it updates everything. For example, if I wake up one day and say, hey, I think my customers did not like blue, let me switch and rebrand to red. So I'll just simply come and change here red one time and save, and then the whole website will be updated. You get the point, right? So it is better than writing inline. So if I go ahead and then maybe I say I want all my paragraphs to have red color, red text color, so I just simply come and say, or green text, so I just simply come and say all the p tags, open the curly bracket, should have the color of what? Of green. Save. So all the p tags are going to be green. So these are LIs, list items, as you can see here. These are LIs, okay? So if I want all the LIs to have a certain color, I can just simply come and put a comma and put LI. So also the LI are going to obey the same rule. So if I refresh, you can see all the LIs have obeyed the same rule. But this one does not stop from coloring. When I say colors, it means that we can apply multiple rules of CSS. Among the rules can be, for example, font size. You see, there is what you call font size. Font size, you can see that. I can specify in pixels. So it means that all the p tags and the h1s are going to change the font size to what? To 12. If I come and refresh, you can see it has increased. If I wake up one day and change my mind, no, they should not be 12. They should be maybe 10. So if I come and refresh, all the font size of where this rule is attached, they'll be updated to what? To 10. So that's how we write what we call internal CSS. So there's another one type of CSS is called external CSS. So external CSS is the one that external CSS, they are the ones that will come from external as just it sounds. External CSS, they are CSS from external file. So what if this is just a single page? So it means that these styles are working only in this particular page. But what if you're going to create a website with the home page, a website with the about us page, a website with the contact us page? Those are 3 different pages. Does it mean that you're going to repeat writing the same styles? Because the colors of home page have to be the same colors in what? In about us page. But you know, about us page is a different file. So what does it mean? You have to repeat that same styles. So to solve that problem, they came up with an idea of what? Of external CSS. External CSS, you create a CSS file separately, and then after creating that CSS file separately, you can reuse it in different files that you want. So you can see, let us see how we can do that. You can see here, this is our CSS that we just created. I'm going to cut it. Okay, if I cut it, so let us create another file, Ctrl+Shift+S, and I'm going to call this one number 15 CSS external. So I'm going to put here CSS external. So external CSS, as we define it, we have the styling has to be outside the HTML file. They have to be a separate file. So we write all our CSS in a separate file, and then we reuse it in different files of what? Of HTML. So if I come and refresh here, open the external one, you see nothing is there. Why? Because there's no CSS there. So let us go ahead and create an external CSS file. So to create an external CSS file, you just simply come to your folder and then right click and create a file. So I can call it my style. You can call it any name, but the last part must be .css. The extension must be .css. So I can call it my styles.css. So after writing my style.css, the other styles that we had written here, I'm going to cut them. copy and cut, delete this, save, nothing is here. So what I've cut, I'm going to put it inside these styles. Okay, so here this style I'm going to paste there, this one. So it is just still the same way how we did the internal CSS. We have defined the styles for H1 and H2. We have defined the style for P and L2, but we defined them in an external file, in a separate file, and that file is called my styles.what.css, not .html but .css. So if you come and refresh, still nothing will work. Why? Because we have not imported this file. So to import the file, we use what we call link. So I want this code, this CSS, this styling to work on my file, this one. So to do that, we use what we call link. So just simply write link, and then inside that link you specify, this is how it is written. Just write link and then relevancy, or rel is called style sheet. And then inside href, you specify the name of the file that you want to, the name of your CSS file that you want to make action on this particular file. So the name of our CSS file, it is what? It is my styles.css, my style.css. If you put a wrong spelling, then it will not work. So what is going to happen? The browser will get the styles that are in this file and then put them here. And once they are here, they're going to work on a what? On a document. So if I come and refresh, you can see we have achieved the same thing. But right now, our styles are in a separate file. And once we have, and they are just in the file where they are, it is just pure styles. So once we have those styles separate, what does it mean? It means that we can reuse them even in different different files. For example, if I create a home page, I can still include the same file. If I create maybe a about us page, I can still include the same file. So you can write one times and reuse many times, as I have elaborated here. This is my style.css. You write it only one time, and then you can come here and just import it. And once you import it, it will update everything in there. Are we together? Are you understanding, members? Mr. Peter, are you following Peter?
I'm here.
Are you following?
I'm following.
Eh?
Yes, I am following.
You're following, eh? Are you understanding the concepts?
I am.
That is great, sir. That is great. Okay, so let us proceed, since I've confirmed that you guys are following. So after elaborating that, we have seen the three types of styles. Inline CSS, you write that CSS inside the line of HTML element. Internal CSS, you write those internal CSS in the head of a HTML file. The external CSS, you write a file externally, and then you can reuse it in different files of CSS. So let's proceed to HTML links. So HTML links, they help us to connect different HTML files. For example, if you have a website that is having a home page, about us, and contact us, let us go ahead and do that. So you are going to come here and create another file. We are going to call it number 16 underscore home.html. So it's going to be our home page. So let's go ahead and put the HTML formatting, and then we're going to put here our home. It's going to be the home. Let us just use this one, the same thing that we're using here, right? So I'm going to copy here and come and put here. In fact, we'll use even this one to elaborate. So this home. So let's go ahead and put here home, and let us put here maybe add music home. So if I come and refresh, let me come and open this file, Ctrl O, so you can see Hardy Music, home. We have top 10 songs. So we're going to create another file where we're going to have about us. Okay. So I'm going to copy the same file, save it as about us, but all of them I'm going to keep it as 16 about.html. So this is about us, so it's a separate file, so it's going to be here about us, and then we're going to put here about. So come and refresh. Of course, this is a home file. So you can see this is a home file. If I want to open the about us part, I'll just simply say Ctrl O and have the about. Now you see what I was telling you. This is the home file. Let me open another tab. This is another. Let me open another. This is the home. This is about us. You can see here. This is about us. Let us go ahead and open another one. The home. You can see this is home. This is home. This is about us. But can you see? We wrote only the style in external file, and we're just importing it here and here. So even though they are different HTML files, but they are using a single CSS file. So it means that if I wake up one day and I want to change my website colors, I'll just simply come here to my CSS file, this one file. I'll just come change, maybe I again like blue. My customers, they say red is worst. So I just change only one time. When I change, I come to home page, it has changed. I come to about us page, it has changed. How were we able to do that? We were able to do that by the power of external CSS. So I hope now you're connecting the dots why we need external CSS, because you can reuse it in different files. So lastly, let's go ahead and create contact us. So this is about us. About us. So just write here some paragraphs about us. P lorem. So let us write lastly contact us. Ctrl Shift S, and then put here contact us. So I'll save this one as contact us, and then maybe we can put here some our phone numbers, address, and then write some words. BR, so Kampala, Uganda, PO Box, blah blah blah. Then maybe our phone number. So save, come and refresh. About us, just open contact us and make sure it is working clearly. Contact us is there also. Okay, that's our contacts. So, but let me change this one to what? Contact us. So, but our website is not what? Is not connected. Can you see? Okay, I'm now on the contact us page. What if I want to go back home? The website is not connected. What if I want to go to about us? The website is not connected. So to navigate, to be able to navigate through websites, we use, or through web pages, we use what we call HTML links, or href. So by the power of a link, you can be able to connect one website to the other, from one website to the other, like that. So let us go ahead and connect these websites. Okay. So to connect this website, I'll just simply come here, maybe on bottom here, HR will just create a horizontal rule. It will create something like this. This is what we call HR. So let's go ahead and put maybe here the link to home. Okay. So the link to home is going to be A. So to write a link, you just simply write A, and then just write a tag like this. Okay. So you just write a tag, and then you have an attribute called href. Href is where you put the link where I want this one to go. So I want here, when someone clicks on this one, you should be taken to home. So what does it mean? I must put here the exact name of what? Of our home page. So our home page is 16 underscore home.html. So it means that if someone clicks on this link, he will be taken to home page. But one more thing is remaining. This is for us technical people. Now what about the users? What will the users see? So what will the users see? You write it between this tag here. So I can put here home. Okay. So after putting home, let me put here some BR tag. That's going to break. And then let us put another link that will take us to what? To about us. Okay. So I'll put about. So I'm going to change this text to about us. And then we put another link that will take us to contact us. So I'll put here contact. And then I can put here contact us. So if someone clicks on this one, he will be taken to this file. If someone clicks on this home, he will be taken to this file. Let's go ahead and refresh and we see how that works. Can you see? We now have home page, about us, and contact us. So let me click on home. You see? Had music home. But there is no the navigation. What if I want to go back to about us? So it means that I have to include this one in every file. So I'll put it in what? In home. This it was on about us. On contact us. I'm going to copy it and put it also in about us. I'm going to copy it and also put it in what? In home. So save. Come and refresh. So we have our navigation. You see? Our navigation here. I click there, I'm home. I click there, I'm in about us. So I can read about us. I click there, I go to contact us. So I can be able to navigate through the website. So a good website should be able to navigate the user. So that's how we create the what? The links. We just simply create an A tag and then you specify the href. The href, you put the name of a what? Of a file. So when you practice, try to create something different. You may try to create something like an e-commerce website where you can have a list of product, and when you click on the list on a specific product, it takes you to the detail of that particular product. So that's what we call links, and that's how we can navigate through links, and that's how we create links. We proceed to HTML images. So HTML images, they help us to include images in what? In our HTML website. So to create an HTML image, to include an HTML, to include an image in your HTML website, you use what we call an img tag. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to create here a new file. I'm going to save it as HTML. This is not file number. Okay, let me come here. Number 17. New file. It's going to be number 17 underscore HTML underscore images.html. So there we go. Let me first close others, and then I'm going to put here HTML5, and then I'm going to put here HTML images. So let's go ahead and create here some images. So we see that we have to put an image. Okay, an image. We have to use an img tag, but we will not put images into our project. Let's first copy some images into our project, and then you see how we can use them. So it is better to keep your organized your things in your folders. So I'm going to open here our folder of HTML. I'm going to create here another folder of images. Okay, right click, new folder. I'm going to create here another folder of images, new folder. I'm going to call it images. Okay, so inside that folder, I'm going to put there some image that we're going to use for testing. I have some images here in my downloads. I have some images. Okay, I think this can be enough. Okay, these are enough. Okay, so I'm going to copy them and put them in our project. So our project is here, HTML, and then I'll come to this folder that's just created, image. So I'll open it and paste the others images. So you have this image called 1_1.jpg. We have 1_2.jpg. So that's why I say that you must be knowing extensions of the file. Otherwise, if you do not unhide the extension, then here you're going to get confused to know the extension of the file. So make sure you unhide the extension of the file and you're able to know all the extension of files. So let us go ahead and see how we can include, for example, this image in our website. So to do that, you just simply write what you call img tag, img, and then between that you specify the src. So src is the source of image, but you know our image, they are here in this folder of images. Can you see? They're in this folder of images. So I'm going to include this first image here. So to include that image, you can just simply say, for example, have to enter in this folder first. Okay, so our file is here on top, so I have to enter in this folder and then specify the image. So you have to say images, then you say stroke, and then the name of the image. For example, stroke image1.jpg. So by doing like that, it's going to display this image on the screen. So this alternative attribute, it helps you. You put there the name of this image or something that explains this image in case this image does not load, image 1. So assume that the user has a slow network and this image did not load, so they will have to show them this text that, hey, even though you did not see this image, but what was in this image is about this. So what you want to explain about the image in case it fails to load on the user's browser, you have to put it here in this attribute tag. So let's go ahead and refresh. So we're going to open number 17 HTML image. Can you see? We're able to include an image in our file. Let's go ahead and open another file and add there another image. So I just simply duplicate this one and then give what I call so I'm going to add here one. Okay, just press here. So I have the some other image like this one. Come and refresh. Can you see? We have now 2 images. Let me add another one, and let's go, for example, this of 8. Come and refresh. So that's how we include images in our website. So this image has one more attribute. Let me first include one more image. For example, this image 1.jpg maybe. Refresh. You see, this is a picture that we added here. So you're able to do that, to play with images even in your website. So let me show you. There's one more attribute that you can put in HTML images. We call it what? We call it width. So here, width, you can specify how, or the width of your image. You see, I specify this image to be 100 width, and it has called up to that. So you can as well specify in form of percentage. So you can say it should be 20%. So it's going to be 20% of the browser's width, of the container's width. Can you see? It has increased by 20%. So this is the 20% of the whole part here. So you can use this width to resize your images. And that's how we include images in the HTML file. We're remaining with 6 minutes, and in those 6 minutes, we're going to look at HTML tables, and we'll call it a day. So to create HTML tables, they allow us to arrange data in form of columns and rows. So if you want to arrange data of your HTML in form of columns and rows, we use what we call HTML table. So to create an HTML table, you just simply let us create a new file. Sorry, I'll just simply come here. New file. Number 18. It's really boring, but you have to practice in order to understand. So if you don't want to do bored things, you will also not, you will be bored yourself. You'll be boring. So there we go. Number 18, HTML tables. Let's go ahead and create HTML5 tables, and then you're going to say here HTML table. Okay, so to create an HTML table, as we've said, it helps us to organize things in form of rows and columns. So to create an HTML table, we just simply write the word table, the tag table. So it's going to be a parent table. So I'm going to record here maybe a list of students. Okay, so to create a list of students, what shall we do? Maybe we'll have to record the ID of a student, his name, and the country. So to do that, you have to first define the heading. So after creating this head table structure, you have to define the heading. So to define the heading, we define them using a tag called t-head. Okay, t-head. So inside that t-head, you can define the what? The heading. So the heading, we are going to specify the ID, the name, and the what, and the country. So to do that, before you start specifying that, you have to create a row inside this heading. And to create a row inside the heading of a table, you just simply write tr. tr stands for table row. So inside that table row, now you have to put headings, all the cells. So to put a cell in a row, you can use th, table header. So this table header will help you to put a first cell in the what? In an heading. So I'm going to put here maybe an ID. I'll duplicate it, or you can just come here and write another th, and then maybe a name, and maybe the country. So here we have created just our simple heading. Just begin by creating heading, table, create t-head stands for heading, and then inside that heading you put a row, and then inside that row you put the cells, and use th to stand for table head. So these things that will be in the heading will be the ths. So let us go ahead and refresh it so far what we've had. So I'll just simply come and say Ctrl O, and then come and open these table headings. So you can see, there we are. We have the data organized in form of a table, but it does not look like a table, but we'll make it look like a table also. So after doing that, let's go ahead and now put some data. So we have defined the headings. Let's go ahead and put now some data. So to put some data, I'll just simply come here and say, so to put the data, you come below table head, immediately after table head, but within a table tag, but immediately after the table head, after here, then you put t-body. T-body stands for table body. So inside the table body, you can now put the table rows. So you're going to put tr. We put tr. Inside this tr, we're going to put now the data. So I'm creating a row. So after creating the table body, it means that the content that's going to the content that is going to contain the body of the what of the table. Then you create the row inside that table. So to create a row, you just simply say tr. Then inside this tr, we're going to put now the cells, the value. So you have the position of heading, the position of a name, and the position of a country. So I'll just simply press create a row, and then create a what? A td. A td stands for table data. So I just simply say td. And then there inside the first table data, I can now put my ID, maybe 001. I create another td and put maybe Mukiza Peter. Mukiza Peter. So, and then I give this guy a country, maybe Pakistan. Okay, so that is our first row. Okay, that's our first row with this data. So I want to create the second row. To create a second row, you just simply put another tr, and then inside this tr you put td to put the data. So it's going to be 002 followed by maybe Joel Peter, and then inside this, after the Joel Peter's name, we put his country, maybe Yemen. Save. Then lastly, let's create one more row, tr, and then inside this tr we put td, and then inside the td we put maybe 003. We put Abeku Charles, and then he's coming maybe from Wakanda. He's from Wakanda. So come and refresh. Beautiful. Can you see? Things are organized in the form of a table, but really they are not like table. But we can see IDs, they are here, names, they are here, and country, they are here. So what if you want to format and make this table look like a real table? Okay, So if you want to give this table borders, we have what we call, we have to write some extra CSS. We have to write some extra CSS, okay, to make this table have borders. So you'll get, since we're already introduced to CSS, I'm going to write here an internal CSS. So I'll come, oh, time is up, of course. So time is up, style, and then I'll just simply write here and say table. I'm going to catch the table, I'm going to catch the body and the table data and give them border of 1 pixel of solid of black. So come and refresh, it is like that. Can you see? That's our table. But it does not look like a real table. If you want it to look like a real table, we have to add one more property called collapse. So just simply come here in our CSS and write this one. Okay? Table, border collapse, and then we put collapse. So by doing like that, we'll come with our perfect table. It's really beautiful. So that's enough for today. In the next class, we'll have to begin from there. We'll have to begin from HTML lists. We go to HTML classes, and if time will allow, we'll go to HTML forms. And then after HTML forms, we can proceed to CSS and Bootstrap if time will allow. That's all for today. Keep practicing and keep learning. Don't learn from me alone. After getting the topic that I've taught you, go ahead and search about that topic, even from other teachers, from website, and make sure that you serve yourself properly, because it is a self-service. The content is there. So according to what you really want, you can serve yourself the portion that you want. Okay, so we meet in the next class. Make sure that I've put your name in the chat, and I'm going to share this video with you as well as the slides. So in case there is no any question, you are free to leave unless you have a question. But right now you're free to leave. So if you don't have any question, you can go. But if you have a question, you're free to ask also. I'm still around for a minute. But